So this is the new, what's it called? Marvel Token game. You guys know I'm a big fan of Marvel, right? I love Marvel, but then I also love Marvel Rivals. And I also am interested for this game because, correct me if I'm wrong, aren't the people who's making this game is the same people who made Guilty Gear, same people who made Dragon Ball Sparking, or not Sparking, Dragon Ball Fighters, right? So they kind of have a good reputation. And this kind of looks like, when you just look at the visuals of it, it kind of looks um like Fighters. It looks exactly like it. Now, one thing about Fighters that I'm not too keen on is the combos where you just press the X, 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 and it does combos. Um, I don't know. Like, I didn't play that much of Dragon Ball, so I can't say how good or bad it is. But the concept of just mashing the same button to do a combo, I would want a little bit more than that. But also, I'm not the type of gamer who's like, oh, they need to do quarter circles and they need to do back forward inputs. Because, like, Fatal Fury, I love Fatal Fury, but my hands are trash, just like my eyes, just like my skills at Tekken. And it's like, I couldn't do all of those quarter circle inputs without my hands hurting. So that's why I didn't get Fatal Fury, right? I literally didn't buy the game because trying to do all those quarter circle inputs hurt my hands in like the span of like 20 minutes, right? So I would hate for this game to be the same way because this game looks awesome. It looks awesome. But also about this game is that it's interesting because PlayStation is this a PlayStation exclusive? Um PlayStation basically ordered the creation of this game, and they had the people who work on Insomniac, that's the Spider-Man game, team up with Arc System Works. So they had the Spider-Man PlayStation people team up with Guilty Gear people to make a Marvel fighting game, and then this is probably going to dominate Evo, right? Because you also got to remember that Sony is thinking multiple steps ahead. They back in like 2022 or 2021, they bought Evo, and well, in collaboration with Pokimane. Pokimane has a company, and her company is a co-owner of Evo, right? That's why Nintendo pulled out as well because they didn't want to help Sony in any way, so they pulled, which was the biggest game at the game was Smash. But the interesting thing about now is Sony seems to be putting a lot of money into fighting games when most other companies aren't. They also have that new controller, right? That new controller, it's a wireless arcade stick, but you can also connect it with wired. I want to see what the pros say about that. I want to see what the arcade users say about that. But the fact that they did all of these things at once is kind of crazy, and it's all culminating in this. I think Tekken chose the worst time ever to be a bad franchise, right? Tekken 7, they rose their way to the top. And then with Tekken 8, they kind of fell out. Now you have Virtual Fighter coming, you have 2XKO coming, and now you have this game coming, right? And this is probably going to be big, bro. Like I said, you have the Guilty Gear people working on it. You have a iconic IP because there's also this meme of people talking about how they wanted the what's that one fighting game with Marvel versus Capcom? Isn't that like one of the best fighting games ever made, according to a lot of people? So this is seen as kind of like the replacement to that. A lot of people who like that game, they're either upset because this game basically kills it, or they're excited because this game is basically like the newer version of it. So I think it's going to be interesting how this game actually pans out in the long run. But the same thing that I was saying about 2XKO, about how 2XKO has the possibility to bring in a lot of new players that haven't played fighting games in a long time. It's true, right? Like, League of Legends, big player base. Hopefully, they transition into fighting games. Marvel, we see what Marvel Rivals is. We've seen what all the other Spider-Man games are. If even a portion of that, we're not talking about, because those games sells millions of copies. They have millions of players. If even just like 10%, 5% make their way into fighting games, that's massive, right? Street Fighter sold like 4 million copies, Tekken 8 4 million copies, Mortal Kombat 4 million, 5 million copies. These other games are dealing in a 15, 20 minutes. So if you have a portion of that, it's amazing, right? And this game, it looks good. It's like it's a Marvel game, but it's kind of like Japanese themed and they speak Japanese. I wonder if if they will have, they probably will have an English version to it, right? I would assume. But even if they didn't, I think it would be fire because Japanese is a fire language, right? Even the characters sound really cool. Um, but the gameplay is going to be really important. Like they could go the Street Fighter route, like modern controls where you do like, forward this, back that. I think 2XKO does the same thing where they have like the up forward, or they just have like up two, down two, back three, right? They could go that route. Or like I said, they could go the fighters route where you just press X X X. I really don't want that. If it's that way, bro, I don't think I'll be able to get into it too much. But it looks really like complex though. Like all the characters that they have, like the Ghost Rider, bro, that's fire. They got to put Ghost Rider in Rivals, but that's a different subject. Ghost Rider, Star Lord, Spider Man. This is amazing, bro. It's like so cool to see because in this we usually think of fighting games as like this niche thing that like struggles to find like true success, and we were just talking about how new companies don't really get into it. Like you don't see a fighting game from EA, from Ubisoft, from Square Enix. Wait, yeah, no Square Enix. Um, but then here comes Sony putting a lot of chips in. And one thing that they were saying while presenting this is that, it's rare when a fighting game gets this kind of backing. And it's true, right? Fighting games, yeah, like Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6, Mortal Kombat, like those games get a lot of backing, but it's rare. But even not to this level, right? But even then, most fighting games they get a very small budget because the consumer base is very small. So I don't know. I love this from the concept of it, from what Sony is trying to do. I love the characters. All of them look amazing. Did you see Storm? Oh my god! But then just the whole colors and everything. It looks really good. And then this right here, 4v4. So a couple of months ago, I was telling people that Tekken should do a 5v5, 4v4 game mode. And everyone looked at me like I was crazy. Everyone was like, no, it's not possible. You can't have four people on the screen at the same time. It's going to be a balancing nightmare. And I was like, bro, it's possible. Yes, you may have to change the combos a little bit. You may have to tweak the gameplay a little bit. But that's with every game mode. Every game mode, you got to make some tweaks to it. That's the point. But here you have Marvel doing exactly what I was saying. You put a team because that's what fighting games are missing. They're missing the team element. Now I'm not saying every fighting game should be a team element. I'm just saying you're missing the team element. It's kind of a necessary component in gaming where you can work with your friends. Fighting games, there's no way to work with your friends. It's all about just like beat your friends up. And I'm pretty sure we all been in that situation where we're the better friend in the room. We're better, all of our other friends are trash, and we just stomp them in the dirt until they quit, right? This way, you are able to work with them and encourage them and help them and carry them, right? I'm interested to see how the 4v4 works because it's different, right? Some other games do 2v2, like Tekken did a 2v2, Mortal Kombat did a 2v2. Did Street Fighter do a 2v2, like an actual Street Fighter, not a collaboration with anyone? But then you also have like the 3v3. Which game is doing the 3v3? Is it 2K, 2XKO? There's some game out there that's doing the 3v3. I can't remember which one it is though. But the 4v4 is like chartering new territory for sure. And I'm so excited for this. I'm gonna make videos about this. I'm gonna cover it. I'm gonna follow it all the way to launch and just play it because everything that I've seen so far is amazing, and this could turn out to be really big for fighting games. Now, how will Tekken 8 fare? I mean, I don't know. They kind of put themselves in this position to be dethroned themselves. So, and look at this as well. So they kicked them and they kind of broke the wall and transitioned into this new area. That's fire. So you have one stage where you could break the walls and go into other environments, right? That's cool. I love when fighting games do that. I feel like the fight, like Street Fighter. I feel like the fighting games that don't do that, bro, they're kind of missing a little bit of a little element there. Like if you can't break the ceiling, the floor, the walls, and I'm not saying like doing a Tekken style way where you extend the combo, but I'm just saying that you are out of your mind calling Strive trash. You guys are in the comment section, in the chat, arguing whether or not Strive is good. I never really played Strive, um, so I can't really speak to how good it is, but I know there's a lot of people who like it, and I mean the game is big. Strive has started because I never really heard of Strive before Guilty Gear, right? Um, but Guilty Gear came out, and then from like release, it got bigger and bigger and bigger, and I mean they're doing something right if they were the ones who were able to strike this deal with Sony and make this game, right? They're doing something right, right? So you know, I even though I'm not like a huge fan of Guilty Gear, I always respected what they did because it seemed like a lot of people love it. And something that I have to realize, or that I think people should realize, is that not everything is for you. It's for us. You may like this, but I may not. I may like this, you may not, right? So but here's the thing about fighting games and them all being at like Evo and Combo Breaker. You may not like Guilty Gear Strive. You may not like Marvel Token, um, but someone else will, and that will bring them into fighting games. And when they're walking around those events or when they're in the little circle, they just interact with other games. That's what it's all about. Like fighting games bring different types of people in through different doorways, but all of those doorways lead to the FGC. Right, so that's how I look at it. And this game being a Marvel IP, I mean, yeah, it's going to reach a lot of people, a lot of people. Another thing to note is how popular Iron Man is. Of course, Iron Man's really popular, but Iron Man is like the guy, huh? It's weird though because like I really don't think of Iron Man as like the guy like that. Like he's cool, but like Ghost Rider, Storm, Doom, you know, they got to put Thanos in the game. I wonder what the roster is going to be. We Let's not even start talking about the roster because the roster is probably going to be insane. They got characters for days. Put Jeff, put Squirrel Girl, Magic. Just put the whole Marvel Rivals roster in it.